Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. Manchester United have just drawn 3-3 with Everton at Old Trafford. I'm really gutted. Everton's third goal came in the 95th minute of stoppage time. And it came from a set piece. All we had to do was clear our lines. But we threw 2 leads away. Obviously we was 2-0 up at half time. I thought when we went 2-0 up we was going to win the game. And then obviously Everton came back. And then obviously we went 3-2 up. So yeah, 2 points dropped. We had the chance tonight to go level on points with Manchester City. Maybe you'll get quite a lot of United fans now disregarding the title. But I thought it was still a good performance by Manchester United. There were some players that played well. I thought Marcus Rashford had a good game. He made some very good runs, had his chances, got the assist for Edison Cavani's first goal. It was a lovely cross by Marcus Rashford, and I said, didn't I, that Marcus Rashford is really improving. Obviously he was playing on the left tonight. He's more effective out wide. Edison Cavani, for the vast majority of the first half, I thought it was quiet, but Edison Cavani took his goal very well. It was a very good header. Edison Cavani has scored 3 goals against Everton this season now. Obviously he scored in the Cup against Everton, and he also scored in the 3-1 win at Goodison Park. Like I said, Edison Cavani's made a fantastic impact since he's come in. But I like Edison Cavani's movement in and around the box. I think his hold-up play is good, and he does score goals and he creates chances. And I kind of sure he will see out his contract at the club. Bruno Fernandes, he had a good game. His goal was absolutely fantastic. At the first, it looked like he was going to cross it, but obviously then he decided to shoot, and obviously he dinked it over Olsen. Bruno Fernandes had other chances in the game as well, so he could have actually had more than one. Bruno Fernandes is planning on spending many years at Man United after his 12-month anniversary. He's certainly our best player and is the best signing we have made since the Sir Alex Ferguson era. Won Player of the Month for December, but he's won that now quite a few times, reflecting on his good performances. In most of his games at Man United, he has been very consistent. Wan-Bissaka, I thought he enjoyed a pretty good game. He pressed well. Got into Everton's half a lot. And like I said, aspects of Wan-Bissaka's game is improving. Wan-Bissaka did get the assist for Bruno Fernandes' second goal. Luke Shaw, again, I thought he had a good game. Luke Shaw got forward well. Got in some good positions. I do like the way that Luke Shaw crosses the ball as well. Luke Shaw did have a good chance in the game, by the way. I think it was at the start of the second half. Luke Shaw did get the assist for Scott McTominay's goal. Obviously, it came from the set piece. That was obviously poor keeping from Olsen. Paul Pogba, he started the game tonight. He went off injured, unfortunately. Hopefully the injury is not too severe. I had a feeling, you know, Paul Pogba was going to start tonight. Scott McTominay, he enjoyed a pretty good game. I thought his passing was quite good. Harry Maguire, I don't think he was too good tonight, to be honest with you. He was one of the poor players on the pitch. I don't think Lindelof was at his best either. David De Gea, definitely the culprit for Everton's first goal. Obviously, Everton's first goal came from Decore. David De Gea should be catching that. But obviously, he tips it away, and then obviously it falls to Decore, and that's, you know, 2-1. De Gea, you know, he makes too many mistakes. You know, he's done that now in the last couple of years. I've said, you know, David De Gea has had some good games this season, you know, where he's done well, but he's also had bad games. You know, this is David De Gea's 10th season at the football club, so he has been a long servant. And he is going to remain our number one for at least this season. You know, David De Gea has made over 500 appearances for Man United in all competitions. But I do believe that David De Gea will be getting criticised, you know, reflecting on that calamitous mistake, because obviously that let Everton back into the game, didn't it? Obviously, Everton's second goal came from James Rodriguez. To James Rodriguez's credit, you know, he took the goal very, very well. Took it down, hit it first time. You know, Decore also got an assist. He got the assist for James Rodriguez's goal. And Everton's third goal came from Dominic Calvert-Lewin in stoppage time. Obviously, it was Michael Keane that had got the assist for that. There was some good performers for Everton. I thought Richarlison did well, especially in that first half. He was getting down that channel quite a few times, and he was trying. Dominic Calvert-Lewin had a pretty good game. Yeah, I think they were probably Everton's two best players. You know, Decore, you know, he did quite well. But a lot in that first half, Everton were giving the ball away. From an Everton perspective, they'll be very, very delighted with this draw. You know, we've beaten Everton twice this season. You know, we're beating them earlier on in the season at Goodison Park 2-0 in the EFL Cup, and we're beating them in the league earlier on in the season 3-1. You know, Everton have not beaten us at Old Trafford since 2013. And we was coming into this game against Everton with a lot of confidence, because not so long ago we beat Southampton 9-0. And we are record breakers, because it was the first time we'd scored 9 goals since the 9-0 win against Ipswich back in 1995, and that is 26 years ago now. I was disappointed when we drew with Arsenal at the Emirates not so long ago, because I felt as though we had the chances to win that game. You know, I was disappointed with us losing to Sheffield United, because we certainly shouldn't have lost to them, because Sheffield United have been abysmal this season. I can assure that Sheffield United are going to go down this season. But like Solskjaer mentioned, you know, 2 decisions went against us against Sheffield United, because obviously Martial had a disallowed goal. Obviously, building up to Sheffield United's first goal, there was a push from Billy Sharp on David De Gea. And it was Sheffield United's first win at Old Trafford since like 1973. But yes, Solskjaer said that the officials admitted that, they made 2 mistakes in that game. Liverpool at Anfield a few weeks ago, I think we should have won that, because Bruno Fernandes had a fantastic chance and Paul Pogba had a fantastic chance. But I knew it was going to be a tough game against Everton because Everton have enjoyed a good season. They had a bad period at one point, but, they're doing good again now. They've got a very, very good manager in Carlo Ancelotti. Like I said in the preview, Carlo Ancelotti's got a very, very good pedigree behind him. He's won 15 major trophies in his managerial career so far. And he's been at Everton now over a year. When Everton appointed him in, he signed a 4.5-year deal. Did Carlo Ancelotti. Before Everton had Carlo Ancelotti, they had Duncan Ferguson on a temporary basis. Before they had Duncan Ferguson, they had Marco Silva. They was obviously very inconsistent under him. At one point, they did have Roberto Martinez, and they was actually very consistent under Roberto Martinez. And at one point, they had Moyes, and Moyes enjoyed like 11 years with Everton. Everton, I think, only had, a few players out of injury tonight. Obviously, there was no Jordan Pickford. Jordan Pickford has got, I think, a rib injury. I don't rate Jordan Pickford anyway, but I thought he did well in the World Cup in the summer of 2018. I don't rate that Olsen either. He's a very, very poor goalkeeper. He's Everton's number 2. Gabby, I think, has been out with injury. And also, Allen is out with injury. Joshua King, he didn't start tonight's game, but obviously he did come on. He did make his debut recently in Everton's 2-1 win against Leeds. I thought he'd have made his full debut tonight, by the way, Joshua King. Don't forget we had King in our youth academy at one point, and Solskjaer mentioned Joshua King prior to the game, and he actually rates Joshua King. But I've got to say, Ancelotti has brought good players in since he became Everton manager. He's brought Joshua King in. Everton got him on deadline day from Bournemouth. Brought Decore in. Made an impact. Brought James Rodriguez in. Brought Ben Godfrey in. And brought Allen in. And also brought that Nkundu in as well. Everton have let quite a few players go in recent years. Don't forget they did lose Idrissa Gueye. I think he's one player Everton should have kept. They also lost Moise Kean. They let him go out on loan to PSG. They let Theo Walcott go out on loan to Southampton. They let Balassi go. Obviously, Leighton Baines left them because obviously he retired. We've done business with Everton before. Like I said, we got Lukaku off them back in 2017. We got Fellaini off them back in 2013. Got Wayne Rooney off them back in 2004. Wayne Rooney enjoyed 13 years with us. And he is our all-time leading goal scorer. I think he scored 253 goals for us in all competitions. By the way, today marked the 63rd anniversary of the Munich air disaster. But I think, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer will be very, very disappointed, that we didn't win the game, because I said it was a must-win game for Manchester United, if we are to stay in this title race. I think City are going to win the league. I think we'll win another title at some point, maybe next season, maybe the next couple of seasons. We haven't won the Premier League since 2013, so we haven't won it now for like 8 years. Solskjaer knows how imperative it is to get his first trophy on the board as Man United manager, because we haven't won a trophy now for like 4 years, and a club of our stature, need to be winning trophies. But we haven't been great at home this season, like I've gone through with you. All our defeats have come at Old Trafford, this season. We've been very, very good away from home. Reflects on the 0-0 draw with Arsenal not so long ago. We set a new club record. We are unbeaten in our last 18 Premier League away games. Like I said to you earlier on, is our current squad good enough to win the title? I still think we need more signings. And I've already identified the areas where we need to strengthen up. I think we need a striker, we need a world-class midfielder, and we also need a centre-half. And I think the transfer windows that Solskjaer has enjoyed so far, he hasn't been backed enough by the board. But he still has made good signings. He's spent over £200 million. Solskjaer has enjoyed 4 transfer windows as permanent Man United manager. It was a very disappointing January transfer window because we only saw one arrival, and that was Amad Diallo Traore. It won't be too long now till we see him in the first team squad. He's made 2 appearances now for the under-23s and he's done well. We got him in a deal worth £37 million with add-ons included. We paid £19 million up front. But Solskjaer did say during the January transfer window that he wasn't expecting any signings, didn't he? By the way, Solskjaer opens up on our transfer plans for the summer. He said our summer transfer plans could be affected with the coronavirus pandemic. But I am expecting us to make signings in the summer. I think in the summer we could make around 2-3 signings. There has been a lot of players on our agenda, don't forget. You know the news on Jadon Sancho from Borussia Dortmund. Reports from Germany have said that Chelsea have entered the race for Sancho for the summer. Bild recently said that Dortmund have reduced their asking price for Sancho to £88 million, and Dortmund are expecting him to leave in the summer. Don't forget Sancho was our number 1 priority target last summer, but Borussia Dortmund's valuation was £108 million. But it recently said we ended our interest in Sancho. It recently said that we've identified our top targets for the summer. And that is Jules Koundé from Sevilla and Erling Haaland from Borussia Dortmund. And you also know the news on David Alaba. Apparently David Alaba favours a move to the Premier League over Real Madrid. Karl-Heinz Rummenigge, the Bayern Munich CEO, recently said that he's 99.9% certain that David Alaba will leave Bayern Munich in the summer. He's obviously going to be available on a free because he rejected a new deal from Bayern Munich. But I think it did say that we are looking to make around 4 signings this year to complete our squad overhaul. But Woodward has promised Solskjaer quite a few times that he will back him even when we was enduring them bad periods under him, Woodward assured that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's job is safe. Woodward did say towards the end of last year that we will back Solskjaer with a long-term plan centred around summer transfer windows. But the board has been one of the biggest problems at the club for several years. Main explanations is reflecting how poor our recruitment policy's been. We've also overpaid for players. And none of the managers have been backed enough since Ferguson retired. Woodward's been here since 2012 and the Glazers have been with us since 2005. But yeah, I am still Ollie in, despite, us dropping 2 points tonight. Like I've said, Solskjaer's going to be given at least another season at Man United. This is his second full season at the moment. But yeah, he's got to win a trophy this season, to lift more pressure on him, because we don't want him to be trophyless this season, do we? I still think there's a few things that Solskjaer's got to do at the club. I think he's got to identify his best 11. He's also got to give Donny van der Beek more opportunities. He's got to get his selections right persistently as well. But, Solskjaer has been Manchester United manager for over 2 years now. Reflecting how long he's been at the club, he has gained some managerial experience. But we deserve credit for sticking with him because he could have easily been sacked as Man United manager because we've endured bad periods under him. And Solskjaer's been criticised a lot, especially earlier on in the season, reflecting how inconsistent we was. He's been criticised, in the games where he has been tactically naive. People at one point were saying, Solskjaer's out of his depth at the football club and, people were demanding Mauricio Pochettino in. And Mauricio Pochettino was the favourite to take over. Don't forget, he was actually the favourite to take over after Jose Mourinho had got sacked. But obviously, Pochettino's PSG's manager now. We appointed Solskjaer in December 2018. In his first 3 months, he was the interim manager. Obviously, did well in that 3-month period when he was the interim manager. So, obviously, we give him the job permanently back in March 2019. Solskjaer, he got us to the EFL Cup semi-final this season. Got us to the FA Cup 5th round. Did well last season in his first full season, got us 3rd place, got us qualification for the Champions League and guided us to 3 semi-finals. And to his credit, he has got rid of a lot of the deadwood since he got recommended in. Obviously we saw a few players leaving the January transfer window. We saw Jesse Lingard go out on loan to West Ham. Lingard recently scored twice on his West Ham debut. We saw Tiedemann Mengi go out on loan. Odi Nagalo said his farewells to the club. Marcus Rojo also left the club to go to Boca Juniors. We saw Timothy Fosu-Mensah leave to go to Bayer Leverkusen. Obviously, in the other transfer windows, Solskjaer's injured. He's got rid of players like Young, Valencia, Smalling, Darmian. Got rid of Fellaini in January 2019. We let Herrera go, let Lukaku go, let Sanchez go, let Angel Gomez go. We let Diego Dalot go out on loan. We let Andres Pereira go out on loan. I think we're actually looking to get rid of them permanently. I think there's a chance West Ham will get Lingard permanently. We loan James Garner out. Didn't we loan Dylan Levitt out as well? We loan Tahith Chon out. I think we loan Joe Pereira out again for another season. So yeah. Obviously, when Solskjaer taken over at Man United, he knew it was a massive job. He knew that, despite him knowing the culture of the club, Solskjaer knew he had to come in and bring consistency back, and to his credit, he has done that. He knew he had to come in and make the right signings. And he has made some good signings, like I've mentioned, but obviously hasn't got all the players that he wanted in. He knew he had to come in and, get rid of a lot of the deadwood, that he has been inheriting. He's still inheriting players from other managerial eras. Maybe there's still some Man United fans that are not sure if Solskjaer is the long-term manager for Man United. I think we'll get rid of some players in the summer transfer window, by the way. I think there's a good chance Juan Mata will leave in the summer. Juan Mata doesn't play a lot now, does he? Juan Mata's had a good career at Man United. He has been in the club now over 6 years. He's made over 200 appearances in all competitions, and, he has scored, 50 goals? Earlier on this season, he rejected an $18 million a year contract offer to play in Saudi Arabia. We got Juan Mata in a deal worth £40 million from Chelsea back in 2014. I also think there's a chance we'll let Matic go in the summer, because Matic isn't one of our first choice midfielders. I've always had reservations about Matic because he's always been a slow player for us. Matic has been at the club now over 3 years. We got him in a deal worth £40 million from Chelsea back in 2017. Like I said, there's still a chance that Paul Pogba will leave the club in the summer. But there again, he could stay, potentially, past the summer. Now, I give you the news, didn't I, on Paul Pogba this morning. We've held talks over Paul Pogba's future. Solskjaer insists that Paul Pogba is happy at Man United. And Solskjaer suggested Paul Pogba could sign a new contract. He said a few weeks ago that Paul Pogba was considering making a U-turn at the club, and he contradicted his agent Mino Raiola for the second time. Don't forget, Paul Pogba got voted Player of the Month for January, reflects on that fantastic goal he scored in our 2-1 win against Fulham. Paul Pogba's performances have been actually very, very good in most of the games, since he came back from that ankle injury that he had earlier on in the season. Didn't really have much of a perception on him tonight because, like I said, he went off with injury. Pogba was out for the vast majority of last season with an ankle injury, so he has sustained a few injuries as a Man United player. Paul Pogba's brother, Matthias Pogba, he recently spoke about Paul Pogba's future, and he's actually said that we could lose Paul Pogba for nothing in 2022. So he's actually said we need to sell Paul Pogba during the summer if we are to get the money, because he mentioned that Paul Pogba's got no intentions of signing a new contract. So Matthias Pogba, he's actually saying the same thing as what Fabrizio Romano revealed not so long ago, because Fabrizio Romano gave us an update on Paul Pogba's future, and he said that Paul Pogba's transfer away from Man United is still on the cards, and he said that Mino Raiola's been planning a summer move for Paul Pogba. Don't forget, Mino Raiola made an announcement back in December saying that his client is unhappy at Man United. He said he has to leave and he's got no intention of signing a new contract. And obviously Solskjaer was furious with Mino Raiola's announcement because it was just before the game against RB Leipzig. Earlier on this season, we triggered that 1-year extension on Pogba's contract, so he's under contract with Man United until June 2022. He's our most expensive signing at the moment because we paid £89 million for him. Phil Jones, I think he'll probably go in the summer as well. I'm surprised he didn't leave us in the January transfer window, but Solskjaer's giving him a second chance, Phil Jones. Phil Jones has obviously been out with injury for like a year. You know, this is Phil Jones' 10th season at Man United. You know, he has been with us since the Sir Alex Ferguson era. But there's also a lot of players that we are going to keep at the football club. I think we're going to keep Anthony Martial for maybe at least this season, next couple of seasons. Martial's actually been criticised because he has been out of form for the vast majority of this season. Definitely Cavani's ahead of him now, you know, with how good Cavani has been. But yeah, again, you can play them both in the same team because you can put Martial out wide, can't you? Oh, but yeah, it's going to be a tough game against West Ham in the FA Cup 5th round. For that game, I think Solskjaer will make some changes from tonight's game. West Ham are enjoying a good season. And David Moyes, to his credit, is doing very, very well in his second spell with West Ham. The preview will be coming up for that at some point tomorrow. On my next video, I will be giving you my player ratings from this game. So anyway guys, that's everything to update you today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless you all again very, very soon.